We're now going to have a look at lists and how we can add, insert, and delete things from various lists. So the first thing we have to do is we have to declare a list. So I can use the two brackets, the left and the right bracket, and that basically is declaring a list using the two brackets. So now we need to add some things into that list. So for example, let's say that the first thing I'm going to add in is Apple. I'm going to insert the number 50 and then perhaps 3.5. And if I now type in X, it's going to generate that list for me, Apple, 50 and 3.5, which is exactly what I've typed in. Now, let's say I want to add something to that list. We're going to use the word append. So the variable is X, so we are going to say append, and what are we going to append? Let's say I'm going to use the number 5. So if I now press X, there we go, we have added that 5 to the end of this list. However, sometimes we might want to insert something in a specific place. So for this, we are going to insert, and I'm going to insert at what position? 1. So after the first variable in part of your list, I'm going to insert, let's say, the number 100. So if I now type in X, there it is. I have it inserted after number 1. There it is, the 100. Let's say I want to delete something. So let's go with delete. I'm going to delete the 3.5. So we're going to go X, pop, and now this is what number in the sequence do we want to delete. And you've got to remember that this starts at 0. So 0 is Apple, 1, 2, 3. So 3.5 is number 3 in this list. So when I press enter, it's going to give me the variable that has been going to be removed from this list. And if I then type in X, it then is going to give me that list without the 3.5, which is exactly correct. Sometimes it's quite important that we know the length of however many different characters we have, or we can even work out how many different items we have in a list. So for length, it's len, and let's say we would like to know how many characters there are in a word. So my word I'm going to look up is Apple, and if I now press enter, it's going to tell me that there are 5 characters, which is absolutely correct. Now I can use the same thing and I can say how many items are there in list X, and there are 4, and that's correct. It's Apple, 100, 50 and 5. This becomes really quite important, especially when we start looking at loops and things like that. We can also add items to a list. For example, if we use the word list, and I'm now going to say I would like to list Apple, and what it's now going to do is it's going to take each one of those characters and make it into a list.